hello there, HW here, and thank you so much for watching Tone Junkie TV. I wanted to take you through a new pack that we just released called the Beauty Pack from Tone Junkie. You can get it at tonejunkiestore.com, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's my absolute favorite pack we've ever done because it is my favorite amp. We are capturing the sound of the Suhr Bella, which is hiding behind me back here. And you may remember that we did 5 of these profiles in Tone Junkie Profile Pack number 1. But after the response we got, I just felt it was appropriate to do a full pack of this amp. We put some pedals in this time. We did the bright switch on and at the halfway point. And so you get kind of a set of clean profiles, a set of profiles with a KLONE boost in front. It's an Archer. Beauty B and a number is the bright switch on. And you're going to find that really useful for humbuckers, for darker guitars. You got that now with the bright switch. And those are sounds you couldn't get before in Tone Junkie Profile Pack number 1. This is my favorite pack. I'm super excited. Let's just hear how it sounds. I think one of the things I love most about this Beauty Profile Pack is that you get these kind of amazing clean sounds like you get from Beauty 2 or Beauty 3. But when you switch to humbuckers, it's also a beautiful clean sound. It's a little darker, but you can remedy that just by rolling up the presence and rolling the treble up a little bit and coming back here and rolling the bass off. And when you do that, you very easily, with just a small adjustment, I really don't even change the definition control, I can come up to my neck humbucker, I can kind of get that fat, clean neck sound, you know what I mean? So Beauty 3 is where you may start to notice some breakup depending on your pickups. If you're playing single coils, it's still going to sound clean, just maybe a little more powerful, a little more pushed. P90s, you might start to get a little bit, but humbuckers, you're going to start to hear a little bit of that stuff, and definitely into Beauty 4. Let's check that out. Neck single coil. So clean, not really breaking up at all. But if I come back to the bridge humbucker, and I'll just brighten this up a little bit. I'm using humbuckers here, but you start to hear some of that breakup coming in. So that makes for a really versatile kind of thing if you do what I do, and that's play guitars that usually have like single coil capability and some humbuckers, and you can kind of get this sort of. Now you may notice these plus profiles. These are profiles that are pushed with a KLONE. So I'm going to do that same thing, but you can really hear the KLONE in front of the amp. And it's set to maybe darken things up a tiny bit, but really it's adding a bunch of mid-range in. And not much dirt either. Here, let's check that out. So it's really all that pushed, kind of chewy, mid-range stuff, and you can get some nice light leads out of it, you know? And then if you just roll that back, or you switch to a single coil or something, I'm just going to roll it back. It's a little more mellow, and if I really go to like an in-between strat kind of position, you really, you get that mid-range punch through, but it sounds a lot more polite and not even really in lead territory. And with that position, I would just brighten this a little bit. Really, really beautiful stuff. I mean, just those couple profiles alone right there could get me through a lot of tunes on a Sunday. Really all the tunes I could get through once you start adding like a tube screamer and stuff from the Kemper. But yeah, ton of stuff in there. Similar thing to a neck humbucker, just by brightening up a little bit, you really get still a great kind of neck thick sound that does work, and I think fits really nicely Sunday morning kind of stuff. Really those kind of warm tones that you don't always hear too often, but they fit really well. You know, when you're not in a telly bridge, there's a lot of range in the guitar, and so you can kind of have these really nice parts that are sort of sitting back there and not really punching out too much, but still add something in the mix, you know? So these Beauty B profiles, Beauty B1, Beauty B2, etc., etc. What are they? Well, B in the Tone Junkie profiles always means that there was a bright switch on, so it's Beauty Bright 1. So Beauty Bright 1, Beauty Bright 2, Beauty Bright 3, those are really usable to me depending on the guitar. If I'm playing a Strat or something, or a Telly, I don't find them the most usable unless I really want a real like snappy funk sound. Because the regular beauty profiles have the Suhr Bella in the halfway bright switch. The Suhr Bella has a three-way bright switch. All the way on is your normal bright switch, all the way off is your normal off position, and then in the middle is that position that John Suhr built in there to kind of be a happy medium between great cleans and stuff that you would put pedals through. I can't say enough great things about that amp. And about Suhr in general. I really love that company. I love I have a bunch of their guitars here. They really just make fantastic stuff, really well thought out. And it's no mistake that this is my favorite amp for those reasons. But anyway, back to these profiles. The Beauty B profiles really, I think, are beautiful without even touching any EQ if you want to use humbucker. So if you're finding, I just want a little more snap, or I want to pick up a darker guitar, maybe a Les Paul or something, or anything with humbuckers like this, you can put a humbucker in the neck and not worry about, you know, mudding up your sound. mean, there's no adjustment needed. It's made for humbuckers. And it still sounds pretty good like this. Let me just show you the in-between kind of stratty position, which would still be bright, but still very beautiful. It doesn't get harsh, and that's something you don't find in a lot of amps. You certainly don't find it on modern production Fender stuff. Those things can get harsh quickly. I've never found a harsh sound in the particular amp here that we're trying to capture. So check that. Beauty B3, these things do start to break up, and you get that big sort of breakup sound. Let's throw it on a bridge humbucker. You can hear some of that breakup, you know. The chord I meant to play was this. Not this. Whatever. We'll leave it in. No, but these are really great profiles. You could hear back again on the neck. Now again, that is a humbucker. And you can hear that brightness and that clarity, and yet you still hear a lot of that mid-range kind of voice of the humbucker. I've seen sometimes online people say things like, show me an example of a great humbucker clean, right? They think single coils are it. Here you go. Tune into this video right here. This is a bright guitar on the bridge, and this is a bright profile, and it's not harsh. It's really not. It's bright and shiny and good, and it's brilliant and present, and every word that means bright. It is bright. Another thing we did, and we've been doing with some packs lately, is we did a blues breaker pedal. This is an original early 90s Marshall blues breaker. This is the version 1A, so it has the original op amps before they changed the circuit and gave it more gain. And it's absolutely a beautiful sounding pedal. If you watch another video on the channel called The Story of the Marshall Blues Breaker, we talk about this pedal, how it came into existence, how it kind of went out of existence, and how it's really the grandfather overdrive of all sorts of modern boutique pedals. Basically, the JHS Morning Glory, the Analog Man King of Tone. I don't care what anyone says. You can look at the schematic and listen for your own ears. Listen with your own ears. They all come from this. This is sort of the grandfather, and it's the inspiration behind them. And I'm not saying any of those guys copied this pedal. The circuits are different. But this has definitely become a classic overdrive circuit that a lot of boutique overdrives are kind of referencing back with some improvements. Playing this thing, you realize it is a little, it can be a little noisy and things. But actually, the Kemper does a good job getting rid of the kind of a high noise floor, which is a real advantage to the Kemper. And there's some really nice settings in here. And so let's check that out. Here's Beauty BB1, and that's the first setting with this BB pedal, this blues breaker pedal. This is Beauty BB1 Plus, and it's that same pedal, but this time we push it with a KLONE, because why not? adding the KLONE. Another thing people really seem to love is the King of Tone, Killer Overdrive. I've got one on my board when I'm not using the Kemper as an all-in-one unit, and it's a With Me Forever pedal. We threw that with and without the KLONE in two settings. KOT1 is the yellow side, and it's the overdrive mode, and then we throw a KLONE in front of that, and then KOT2 is the high gain side, and it's in distortion mode. And it is, so it's got the hard clipping, and then we throw a KLONE in front of that. Check it Beauty OCD, look, I know that the OCD is not the most popular overdrive on the planet. I know it's not the latest, newest boutique thing, but basically an OCD and this Bella was my rig for years. And before that, this OCD and a lot of older Fender amps and stuff was kind of my go-to combination. I just think the OCD is one of the best sounding pedals ever made. It is expressive, it is touch sensitive, and the Beauty OCD profile captures that. Now, I didn't give you a ton of settings. I kind of give you my favorite HW settings, if you will. And it's the way I've run my OCD for years into cleanish amps. I make a little adjustment if I'm throwing it into like a British Vox type of thing. But basically this setting kind of works all over the place. And it sounds like this. Hey, truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for supporting Tone Junkie and watching Tone Junkie TV. The people jumping on and getting these profile packs and the feedback we've been getting has just been tremendous. I get so many emails every day saying they've deleted everything else off their Kemper, saying these are the best profiles they've made. They've used this person and that person for years, and they're done with that. They love the Benson pack. They love Profile Pack 1. They love all this stuff. I know I'm sounding like a total shill, and I'm not intending to. My intention is to say thank you so much, so much for supporting Tone Junkie TV and supporting what we're doing with the Kemper profiles. Really from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And hey, there's a coupon code for the Beauty Pack in the description.